What's going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. Really excited for this week. I feel like out of the gate on this Monday morning, already running so much to interact with. Just want to take a look together and including at some different stuff today, including you saw last week, Zuzu shared for stocks. It was asked of him what might be the best settings for CTM 2.0 on stocks, indexes, and he pointed out, wanted to take a look at that on the daily time frame and then also on the 2-day. The work that Luke was doing seems to provide outstanding results, not just on the indexes, but on individual stocks as well. And that's a fun conversation and a lot to continue to work out. I want to take a look at Bitcoin from a bunch of different vantage points that we used to, CTM 1.0, and see what that looks like right now. I want to move forward, and that will be like just continue discussing the direction that maybe is the right way to go to add even additional alpha to what we already have. Let's start with what we do have though, and I also want to look at this as well. So there's a lot to talk about today. That's just what's going on here at CTM this morning. I see that the equity markets are really pumping. I really spend less and less time over these past couple of months looking at the daily price fluctuations and much more focused on what we're doing to execute. It's a lot sharper. At the same time, I want to fall back and look at, the work that we were doing here is pretty top notch. And I want to continue just looking at that as well. Let me start though with CTM 2.0 because it looks like potentially sometime this week it could offer a buy signal. That's significant only because it hasn't since the first week of April. It's been out of the market. So a buy signal this week would just be, well, good stuff and lots of fun. And I just want to go back and just reinforce one thing. I think this is not apparent to a lot of people. If you go back, and I'm just going to start first with a lot of people are familiar with what happened in 2017 and that Bitcoin bull run, and just looking at what our settings here on CTM 2.0 do in comparison, the drawdown is significantly less. Instead of an 85% drawdown, the max drawdown 25%. And the return is sensational, 11,000%. What's more important, I believe, is having a plan that is going to be able to get you to reach beyond whatever your wildest expectations ever were in the markets. That's where we are. That's what we're doing. Just go ahead and give a little bit of perspective. If the Nasdaq came off 50%, and it's possible right now they're talking about, even Bullard is talking about the Fed cutting rates as soon as 2023. Could be 2024. That seems to be what the market is currently pricing in right now. That's a long time from today. Is it possible that we see some type of 50% correction on the Nasdaq? That would only take us back, by the way, to above the March 2020 lows. Price coming off 50% from its all-time high on the equity markets, and I don't think anything like this would be easy for a lot of people to be able to mentally trade through. I think that's why I wanted to go ahead and actually get into stocks today, which I do. But let me finish with CTM 2.0 before I even move forward to that. I feel so good about where CTM is and where CTM is going, and I just want to, as the mentor, make sure that I continue to get everyone's focus where I believe to be the most beneficial in order to, no matter what circumstances we have to navigate, that we're able to do it. Let me just go a little bit of free flow and bounce around, and then I'm going to come back to CTM 2.0. Just this trend line over here, cloning it over to where we are right now, you would have seen this would have given a buy entry over here. You should have been long over here, but that's since been faded. I'm going ahead and I'm continuing to move it over now over here. And the only reason is to say that there's no way price is going to have any type of meaningful rally. This could be the capitulation bottom or it could be not, but there's no way that price is going to have any type of meaningful rally until at a minimum it breaks across this line. So that's just an important point of reference as far as expectations. We have no momentum on our side at a minimum until price breaks that yellow line. And what happens in between, I have no idea. Look at Bitcoin, they have no idea where they should be and when. We could go ahead and use our trend lines alone off price alone And I believe that's exceptional. I truly do. Coupled with, obviously risk management, money management, which is essential, but even more so if there was not just getting out and buy side only is enough. Just going back and looking at, past work, pointing out the importance of the channel, everything that we were doing over here. It's not often that price is so far away, pulled so far away from the 200 period moving average. You can see right now it's about, I'm going to say about 35%. And it's only been in the past capitulate. Let me show you right now. From where it is right now to 50, it got as far as 40%, more or less. Whether or not it was the March 2020 low, price came off 50% during the December 2018 capitulation, price coming off about 50%. And then you could, of course, go back to the other one over here in 2015. And during that capitulation, price coming off 60% in that time. Price coming off 40% right here. A lot of people, because they are looking at the macro and they're really frightened by it, just believe that potentially we're going down much, much lower for much longer. And that could be. But from where Bitcoin looks to me right now, we know that this also coincided with the touch, the bottom of our technology adoption lifecycle channel. Look, there's a good chance that we have seen what we've talked about as there's a good chance the bottom is in. Anyway, just leave it at that. That brings me over to here, right? When I posted this type of fractal, I'll call it, or potential outcome, really I was focused in a lot on price coming up to that danger zone. It's never happened up until this point. It's been a ruthless, just straight down. Obviously, we took out this trend line eventually. Price not only took out this trend line sooner than expected, it also has reached this area over here. I had it at like $23,000 as potential bear market low. It's happened a lot sooner. We're in May. We have reached down around that level. Now, if you were to go ahead and line this up with April being the high, the all-time high, and just take this and move this over to here, I think that we had been bottoming right here in May, right around potential. Not like this was the expected outcome. This was something that could possibly take shape and form. I think the danger zone is still a big thing to watch out for. I could go ahead and add the fib levels over here. And we have on the way up right now, we are in bear market, and we are looking for continued rallies to be sold. There's a couple of areas of interest over here that I marked, highlighted in those green lines. And then we still have the danger zone ahead of us. And I don't think that a lot of people right now expect, because of the macro and because of the uncertainty out there, that we could be looking over the next 6 months of Bitcoin working its way towards this danger zone. Yeah, and I obviously don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if it were able to do that, whether or not it would be able to push through even towards a new all-time high or be rejected hard and even come out and take these lows. This would be assuming the low is in over here right now. And look, it's way too soon to know that. I'm looking by the end of the summer, hoping that price is 32,000 or above. If it is, then I believe that, we could see more along the lines of fundamental. When I say fundamental, I'm talking about adoption forces prevailing. Right now, obviously, it's the macro forces prevailing, and a lot of that just fear of the unknown as the Fed tightens into a slowing economy has a lot of people, rightfully so, just very, very, very cautious. Rightfully so, a lot of people right now are very worried. And it's a question of whether or not we've reached that area of peak fear, or that there's good reason to be worried. I don't really have the answer to that right now. I continue to try to, for fun, right? Like the macro is for fun, to kind of just be as clear as possible. We have TAs. Trend lines alone on price alone is way more effective if you're able to line them both up and you're able to take an asset such as Bitcoin, such as cryptocurrency, that's undergoing such transformation and adoption, it makes a lot of sense to kind of use that as whatever foundational investment you're making.